What's up, everybody? This is Rudy Sama of Sideways 8 here with one of the up-and-coming Inland Empire hip-hop artists, Eyez. How you doing, boy?
What's up, man? I'm doing good.
All right, so first and foremost, what made you want to start making music, bro?
Oh man, just music, inspirational music. People like Michael Jackson, people like 50 Cent, these new rappers nowadays. People like Mozzie, Nip, of course, rest in power. But yeah, people like that just inspired me to make music, and I've been doing it since about 14.
That's what's up, man. It's a pretty wide spectrum from Michael Jackson to 50 Cent to all the new West Coast. The new West Coast it's pretty dope, bro. So since they inspired you, do you like try to base your style off any of these people, or do they just inspire like the hustle that you're trying to like also do?
I actually kind of catch myself when composing music and writing lyrics and stuff. I catch myself kind of taking a person's cadence or something like that. People that I like, something I listen to over and over. But I mean, hey, that's how I feel like art is made. You go off of something that you love and you create it, put a little twist on it for yourself, and it becomes yours. And that's how I compose my music.
That's facts, man. Inspiration comes from everywhere, especially from already existing art and other music and stuff like that. So this is an Inland Empire based kind of platform we have, goes worldwide, but what part of the Inland Empire to you means most, man?
Oh, Perris. Perris, off top, the P. That's always gonna mean the most to me, because that's where I'm from. That's home. That's what's made me who I am. You know what I mean? So Perris, off back.
Perris is a unique little town, man. I mean, everybody pretty much knows each other, and if they don't, they know of people, and so on and so forth. Who are some of the artists that you've collabed with, people like from here in Perris?
Right here in Perris, I've collabed with Melrose 951. Check him out. All this stuff is tight. I mess with Grammy Boy. He's tight, man. He's going up right now. My boy Joe Montana, he right here with me. We've been recording stuff. But shit, as far as in Perris, who else is out here? My boy Aaron. I'm not sure what he goes by, but he's pretty sick too. So be looking out for him. Check him out.
For sure, man. Speaking of artists like Melrose 951 and Grammy Boy, you guys all have a compilation album coming up soon, right? Exactly. Tell us a little bit about that.
Actually, I forgot my boy Blackie Montana. Now we're doing a lot of work with him, and we're coming up with a lot of videos and stuff like that. We got a compilation project called P-Town Players. That's actually a little thing that Melrose and Blackie and me came up with. Where we're trying to make a collaboration, like little group, For sometimes we'll come together and make these little CDs and drop them as a group. And I think that's really gonna work, as far as the Black and Latino community. It'll help to bridge us together, and have us going out and having fun amongst each other without all the trouble that we usually have,
That's a very beautiful thing, bro. To try to link up two cultures where we're very similar. The thing is, sometimes situations divide us, and that's how they want it to be. They don't want us to come together in that type of way,
That's power, man. We come together. That's too much power for them. They don't want that. They don't want it at all. But we're gonna keep struggling to make it happen, because once it does, it's over with. We gonna have this motherfucker sold up.
Yeah, that's very beautiful, man. Like, I mean, growing up in Perris as well, you know about the situation out here, how it was growing up. It's like everyone had each other like pinned against each other, and nobody was eating. Now I feel everyone comes together, we can all eat. Speaking of Nueve and Melrose, you've done a project before this P-Town Players project with Melrose, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Tales from the Town, man. That's on SoundCloud, on all the little platforms, Spotify. What else is it on? iTunes, Apple Music. You can get it on all that stuff. But yeah, Tales from the Town. That's me and Melrose collaboration CD. It's awesome, man. You gotta check it out. Listen to it. It's got tracks from some street shit to some you know, to some R&B shit, to all. We got all of it. Big spectrum. Check it out.
How do you feel the current situation in music is? I know there's a lot of like division between generations which are really close to each other. It's the first time it's ever happened, you know, like a lot of the younger dudes that like mumble rap or that like melodic shit, whatever. I personally, I love music. I fucking music, you know, but like, how do you feel about that in these days?
Well, the mumble rap and all that shit, I mean, some of it's tight. I gotta admit, some of that shit is hard, man. And some of it slap. They got them beats behind the mumble rapping, and it goes, it fits. But some of it is trash, man. Some of it is trash, and they need to stop glorifying it, because some of it is just straight bullshit. But I mean, it's art, you know. You can't really the beauty in the art is in the eye of the beholder, you know. Like you gotta know what you're looking for, and that's just not what I'm looking for. I'm pretty sure there's people out there looking for the kind of rap that I'm saying is trash, but that's just not me. But I respect it. I mean, if you're getting your money off of it, you're hustling it right, that's all good, man. But I don't like it. I don't like some of that shit, bro. Some of that shit is garbage. But some of these young dudes are lyrical, you know, like Mozzie is lyrical. You got some people on the East Coast who lyrical. Dave East, you know, he's out there in Harlem. They doing their stuff. Some people got bars, but some people need to give it up, period.
It's always good to have an honest perspective on things, you know.
Always will.
Speaking of artists like Mozzie and, you know, Nipsey, R.I.P., and other dudes who are bringing up the West Coast sound that I feel the nation forgot about it or just weren't tapped in as much, but like this sound has always been here, you know. How do you feel about now that there's more of a spotlight on that? Mike Sherm, OGZ, Shoreline Mafia, all these, you know, newer kids like coming up, bringing the distinct West Coast sound back, you know, like which is a certain kind of snare. Like how do you feel about that, bro?
I love it. The West Coast sound, that shit that's only ours, you won't get from nowhere else. I love it, bro. I love it. Because when I compose music, sometimes I feel like I don't have that. You know, I don't always sound West Coast. I might sound like sometimes I catch myself sounding like a Southern person. I like a lot of Southern rap. So, you know, I don't know. I love that West Coast sound though. I appreciate it, man. And I appreciate it even more because I don't make it a lot, you know? So the people who are shining on that, I appreciate you for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, hip hop is amazing because, I mean, back in the day, you could tell with the regions where the artists were from. Now, it's a little different because everything is all blended together, and you get, you know, West Coast artists, dudes like Kendrick Lamar, kind of with like East Coast type beats with that boom bap, and that's fucking, you know, that's fucking really dope.
On me, man. I love it. And I just feel like the West Coast, man, we nice with it, man. You give us any kind of beat, any kind of platform as far as the genres of music, and we'll do it. We'll get on it and kill it. On me every time.
So making music since you're 14, bro, you've seen a lot of things that would probably inspire you to make music from the everyday life that you live, man. What's the all-around vibe you've been trying to make for all these years?
To be honest, I started on some negative shit, like fuck y'all niggas and all that rah-rah, I'll pop you and all that kind of shit. Because I mean, that's the kind of lifestyle that we had pressed on us, you know, as kids and shit. So I was going for that, but then as I've grown, I've decided to like just shoot for real life, man. What's really going on a daily basis. Outside of that, the stuff that I feel most compassionate about, I'll put in my music, and things that I want to do, you know, things that I dream about doing, I put that in there too. I put everything in my music though. Anything that I feel that comes to mind, you know, I put it in my music because that's what you're supposed to do. It's a composition of your expressing yourself, you know. You know what I mean?
Damn, those are some facts right there, man. It's never good to limit yourself. It's also never to put yourself in a box either. And going from, you know, from a negative perspective to a more of a positive perspective is always, it's really good to hear and good to see, bro.
I appreciate that.
So, do you got any new stuff you're working on?
Yeah, I'm actually working on this project, man. It's called Better Late Than Never. I'm gonna drop that real soon, probably sometime in October. I'm gonna wait till after the summer, cause we got that project with Blackie coming up, the P-Town Players. We're gonna drop that, push that real hard, and then I'm gonna come right behind it and smack everybody with the Better Late Than Never. Yeah.
That sounds dope, man. I can't wait to peep that shit out.
Appreciate that.
So before we go, we need to ask you just a couple more questions. Number one, where can people find your music at?
People can find my music on YouTube, SoundCloud. I'm working on getting it on Apple Music and iTunes. I'll have it on there shortly. You can look for me at SoundCloud on Eyez on Perris. It's EYEZ _on Perris. You can find that at SoundCloud, and then you can look me up on other things like Instagram. I'm on Instagram too. That's Eyez on Perris, all together. You know, Eyez with a Z. And shit, Facebook and stuff like that. I'm on social media. I need to do better with my social media too, man, because I'm kind of drawn away from that shit. I really don't be into Snapchats and making the little videos and shit. But I understand, like, as an artist, I do need to get better with that, man, because that helps you out a lot.
The second question we wanted to ask you is, funny enough, about social media. Social media has changed literally the landscape of the music industry to the 100%. Speaking of social media, it's changed the landscape of music dramatically. It's no longer as black and white as it used to be. They can hit you up as in the fans in an instant. You don't have to like mail package or whatever, or go to a show to maybe reach out. Now you could instantly do it. Whether they hit you back up is like completely on them, but since the landscape has changed, do you feel that the playing fields are more leveled, or are they more like tilted towards like people who are already established?
They're most definitely more level at this point, and I think Nip did his best to show us that. You know, shit, we can do whatever we want to with this shit because it is leveled now. We could get our music off through social media, streaming services, and things like that. We don't have to go through no label and, you know, pay them. Get them to pay us those advances and work us later on. You know, we don't have to do that. We go straight into it as our own business, and that's why I would say, yeah, the field now is level, and shit, we about to run this motherfucker on me.
Dudes like Nipsey showed everybody you don't need radio play, you don't need mainstream supposed mass appeal to be Grammy nominated, to have $1 million net worth, and it's just a beautiful thing, man. With all this being said, any last words?
Nah, that's about it, man. Just look out for me, man. I'm coming. Eyez, you know, I'm about to come for y'all niggas on me.
All his music and social media links will be in the description below. Please stop fucking sleeping.
Yeah, check me out.
Stop sleeping.
44 with that chopper too, that's a bad man, but talking conflict with me and my niggas, that's a bad plan, that's a bad hand at that poker table. We raw footage, you should be seen on cable. Grands used to tell my ass all the time, more hoes, but they done broke the state.